McDermott, of course, who got into that incident with light body, that was not his fault in the slightest. He's now in P20 and has it all to do from the back. But of course, Manning's car will be the heaviest of all now, with 30 kilograms, I think it is, of success ballast that'll be added to that car. Which is, you know, that's quite a chunk, you have to say, Dan.
It is. Although the British touring cars, for those who do watch it, it is 75 kilos as a winning ballast. So 30 kilos is obviously half. Well, obviously less than half what you get in real life, but yeah, it still will be a noticeable difference to the drivers who have that higher weight ballast put in the cars.
So the real loser from that, I say the real loser from that, just the unlucky party, with the top 9 being reversed, is Barakuma in 10th position, who unfortunately has to take 5 kilograms of success ballast, but doesn't get a higher position on the grid as compensation. But
yeah, I think before we get this race started, but I think the biggest loser is McDermott, because you know he's kind of, you know, was out of through no fault of his own, but has now still got the start of P20. So it's yeah, he's got quite a lot of work to do as we come down to get the green flag.
So it's Karppinen on the left, it's Povey on the right, and as we hit the line, it's green flag racing for round 2 of the Touring Car Championship. This is round 2 of 18. As we come down towards turn 1, Karppinen's got a good start. We're going to watch towards the midfield here. It seems quite dark already. I'm not sure if we might get a few inclement conditions in this one. McDermott's already on the move, and as we come up the hill, there's a little bit of contact. It's getting a bit messy in the midfield. That's Manning in there, and then we've got Sumner losing out just up the road. Acton has made a good start, as has Harkima. Harkima already up to 5th position in the Neon Falcon Racing.
You'll just have to do. I've got a couple of technical issues at the moment from my end. I've currently got MJ Povey in a tree, so so continue commentating yourself.
Well, it's Karppinen from Povey, from Hicks, a light body, and Brad Spitt in 5th place. And then Hakim is actually in 6th position, not 5th. I do apologise, miscounted that one. But it's all fairly clean so far on lap 1 of this race. I'm just trying to connect up to the app in such a way that I actually get the right drivers in the right position. It doesn't really like when you disconnect and then connect again. It's got all the drivers in the wrong position, so I don't actually know who's where. There's a fight just ahead of us here between what looks to be Sumner. Acton is. Oh, and there's contact. There's contact there, and that's Acton is off the road.
We got the so we got the Acton went off. Also the 321 of Oscar Summer went around as well with them coming out of clearways. Didn't quite see what happened there. Looked like a side by side coming into clearways and just had a bit of front left touch and rear right quarter panel.
It's unfortunate I can't get my timing app to connect up at the moment. I don't know why. So we're having to sort of do this blind at the moment, as best we can. But still Karppinen in the lead from Povey. I can sort of go like old school, switching between the drivers. I can remember the button for it, which wasn't that one. I'm right on board with Kuma for the time being. But I really, really wish that my broadcasting app would connect up so that I could at least click on the cars and the camera angles that I want. But unfortunately, it quite simply will not.
Yeah, so I'll take over from here. So I've got Karppinen out in front. He stretches his lead to MJ Povey to currently 1.2 seconds. We have a spinner coming out of Westfield, which is Nordemir. not quite sure what's happened to Northern at all, other than knowing that he's spun off. He has managed to get re-going again, but he has got damage to the front end of the car, so it looks like he must have nosed into the barriers as he came out of Westfield. Whether that was hitting curbs or whether he got spun around by someone else, I can't, unfortunately can't tell you that information. But yeah, at the front we've got Carpenen.
Sorry guys, I literally can't even see the server. Don't know why. Oh, no mid-session join. That was annoying. For a spectator, I can mid-session join.
Yes, he should be able to. So MJ Povey has actually fallen down to 5th place. Lightbody's got himself up to 2nd and Hawk up to 3rd. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened to MJ Povey, but he's been wrestled back to 5th position. He settled back in nicely, but yeah, Carpenter's now got a 2.2 second lead out front in the 88 car. So yeah, he's stretching the field, stretching it out in front of the field quite nicely as the rest of the field flood through into Westfield.
Sorry everyone, that was absolutely shambolic broadcasting from my perspective. I will strive to do better as we go into race 3. And hopefully we can catch some highlights. I'll stick the highlights on at the end of this to try and pick up what we missed there. But for some reason this app, it doesn't seem to like when you have one race, then sort of disconnect and reconnect. It's just a mess. So unfortunately just needed to fix that. And we've missed quite a bit of the action, but we've still got 15 minutes to go here. In the second round. And we're currently looking at Matt Parker in the Millbank Team KRO car. He's got one of his teammates behind. And then Sumner's all the way down in 19th after that earlier incident with Acton Is. Meanwhile, here's Brad Spate with the laden down Joe Manning just behind us. There's a fight in the background. There's Lewis Williams in a fight again with Buffonius. And then Bradley's going slow in the background in the Chess.com Racing with Guinness entry. Pulling over to the side of the road. Not sure what's happened there to Chad Bradley. Looks like he may be out of the race.
Yeah, indeed. We've got Joe Manning having a fight with Brad Spitt and Elliot Hicks. Brad's lost out in a couple of places. He went from P5 down to P7 as they come down the back straight and into Hawthorns. But yeah, that lead for Carpenen was 2.2. As they go down across the time beam, he's now down to 1.4, and Hawk is definitely on the back of Lightbody as well. So the top 2 drivers from race 1 are certainly putting their foot down and trying to put themselves back in the same spot into race 2.
I can only assume that was a wheel issue of some sort for Bradley, because there wasn't really any obvious reason for the car to stop like that. But he's now retired to the pit lane and will take no further part in this one. So Carpenen leads from Lightbody, Harkema, and Povey's now in 4th position, with Manning 5th, Hicks 6th. And we must have lost a car. Who was it who was ahead of Joe Manning before?
Well, Joe has just got past Brad Spitt, who, like you said, is down to 7th. But yeah, Povey is now back up to 4th place. So yeah, I had a bit of an error with my on my director as well. So I've lost a little bit of time trying to reconnect back up.
Here's the fight for the lead. It's now 0.6 of a second between Carpenen, Lightbody, and Harkema. It's one of those situations where Carpenen would obviously love to win this race, but if these 2 behind are clearly quite a bit faster, it might be that if we don't fight them too hard, we can just keep running our own pace and maybe settle for P3 or something like that.
Well, it's we're looking at almost approaching the half race distance. So there's going to be a lot of time to go for Carp to try and keep these guys behind, but he's got every right to try and fend them off. Fighting for a race win here, but it looks like it's going to be a bit of a losing battle because the 2 behind him are coming up all guns blazing. And it looks like they're going to try and well.
Oh, Harkema's gone off. Harkema's off into the wall. I just caught that at the right moment. Well, that's one problem gone for Carpenen, because that is Harkema in the barrier at the exit of Sterling's corner.
Yeah, so that's a big shame for Hawk, because like you say, he was attached to the back the top three, but looking at the replay, he's going to go into Sterling's, and he just understeers off the track and trying to get the foot down on the grass on the outside of Sterling's. He's then just dropped it and crashed into the inside barrier. So
fairly hefty contact with the barrier there for Harkimer, and that might be his race run. In terms of being competitive, there could be some significant damage to the front of his BMW M2. So that promotes Povey into third, but here comes Joe Manning on the charge.
That's a nice move. In 30s, although Povey's going to get the old switch back here as they come down the straight and down into Hawthorns. So yeah, this isn't a done deal yet for Joe Manning.
Manning on the inside in a Hawthorn bend. He's going to leave the car there, show Povey the nose, and now Povey has to make the decision about what to do about it. The fight continues though, but Manning seems to have the move done and up into third position. Can now try and set about getting after the lead pair, Karppinen and Tom Lightbody. So we're about halfway through race 2, and once again it's all action for certainly the first half of the race. Conor McDermott, by the way, up to 9th position already, and up behind one of his teammates now in Williams, and then that's Brad Spitt just ahead of us. McDermott's flying here in race 2.
Yes, he is. He's been making good progress. I haven't kept up to it as much as I'd like to, because there's a lot else going on. But yeah, so from starting P20. He's making a good recovery drive at the moment. Now we do have Crabtree off at Sheen Curve. Looks like he just had to spin by himself, but he's got going again, so that's not going to cause any issues to any other drivers. But yeah, we've got up front, we've got Lightbody right on the tail of Karppinen as they come through 30s and out onto the Grand Prix circuit. So I don't know whether Lightbody's.
The Finn and the Ice One Racing cars doing well to just hang on at the moment. And if you can keep up this sort of pace against Tom Lightbody, at the very worst, we'll be on for a very solid second place. Will Karppinen. Harkimer is running again. He's got the fastest lap of the race, but I think there's quite a bit of damage on his BMW. So it remains to be seen how much pace he can continue. He's shown at about 1.4 seconds per lap. So Karppinen's gone wide.
That's going to allow Lightbody to get a good run through Sterling's here as they come down the clearway. But Karppinen seems to have caught him. Got 94.
Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks has went off, and he's going to rejoin, and that's going to be another crash.
He was rejoining at the racing line. That's McDermott involved again, and Brad Spitt in the wall. Here's the replay. So Hicks gets a run on Povey as they're coming down towards Dingle Dell. Now, is he going to have a look up the inside? And there he is. It's a very bold effort. They're both off the circuit. Hicks goes all the way around. And then the rejoin just avoids Williams there. And he's going to just edge to the right as Brad Spitt. And they've sort of got nowhere to go. McDermott's very much in his party once again. Brad Spitt in the wall on the far side. Meanwhile, Karppinen still leads from Tom Lightbody.
Yeah, I must say that's quite a bold move for Hicks to be diving up the inside of Sheen Curve there. That's not an overtaking spot unless you're actually side by side with the driver. And for Hicks, he wasn't even alongside him. So for me, that's
Karppinen's gone wide. Karppinen's gone wide there in Hawthorn Bend, and that's going to allow Lightbody the chance to take the lead of this race.
Karppinen's going to hang out around the outside of Westfield to come down Dingle Dell into Sheen Curve. He looks like he's got a bit of overspeed, so unless Lightbody's going to settle in behind, and that's what Hicks should have done as he comes through Sheen. But yeah, pressure's starting to get the Karppinen here, and as he runs wide again through Stirling, that's going to give a run to Lightbody coming down into clearways.
I can't help but feel like Lightbody's playing this quite safe, and he needs to get this move done because Joe Manning is catching at a rate of knots here. But Carpenter is fighting this one tooth and nail.
What you expect him to do, and but yeah, like you said, Joe Manning is coming like a freight train in comparison to the other guys, the 2 guys in front of him. He was 3 seconds a lap, 3 seconds faster on that last lap because the 2 out front were fighting each other. So yeah, so it's going to be a 3-way fight for the lead if this continues to rage on, which it looks like it will be.
Manning going wide into Druids there. So lost a little bit of time there, but he made up, as you say, over 2 seconds on that previous lap compared to these two. Carpenter is wide once again, and Lightbody will be... He's been patient so far, but that patience will stretch thin as he sees the white and red Sabia Team KRO entry of Joe Manning getting ever bigger in his rear view mirror.
Yeah, Carpenter is just trying to overdrive the car here. He's, I suspect he's probably tensing up as he runs wide again, and that's going to allow Lightbody to get the lead.
And this time Lightbody does take the lead. It's clean as anything this time. Carpenter, as you say, has just been a little scruffy these last couple of laps, under pressure for the lead of the race, and Tom Lightbody takes over in the lead of this one.
Yeah, and it looks like Joe's going to try and have a go into Sterling's, but Carpenter's going to shut the door on him. So yeah, so Joe's going to have to get himself set up potentially for a move into Paddock Hill or Druids in a couple of corners' time. He's got to get a good run out of clearways here and really set up the move.
Robust defence from the Finn so far, but you can see the difference in pace as Lightbody scampers clear in the Big Pete Eco-Tune Team Eurotech car, the yellow and black car just up the road.
Yeah, so here goes Joe. He's going to get the switch back out of Paddock Hill and go into the Druids, and it should be a done deal for Joe. He's going to stick up the inside.
That's a late defence from Carpenter, and Manning has to bail out of it. Buffonius is in 4th place now, and Boof is edging up on these guys as well.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like Timo is just trying to overdrive the car. Obviously, like you said, robust defence, but I think he's just trying to. He's probably going above. Probably a little bit above his, I wouldn't say skill level, but certainly above his abilities to really kind of the pace at which Joe and Lightbody can set. So, but yeah, like you said, robust defence. There's nothing wrong with this.
Here we come again down to Hawthorne Bend. He's gone wide the past 2 laps into here. That's better from the Finnish driver. Still on the racing line, but Manning, you can see, has got so much more pace, and he almost ran into the back of the Ice One racing car there, just not expecting Carpenter to be on the brakes quite as much as he was. But the fight continues through Dingledell. Carpenter a little wide on the grass, but Manning the same.
Yeah, so again, Joe's just going to have to set himself up here. He might even get a run into clearways at this race. It looks like he's got so much more speed than Timo in the last corner, but I think for Joe, he's just got to set himself up here. So you can see he's got a good run out of the last corner. Whether he'll be able to get alongside Timo's to come down the start-finish straight, whether he'll send a late lunge up into Paddock. But he's chosen to go around the outside. He's going to go right around the outside line.
I thought he was going to try the switchback, but he's actually just going to run wide, and Carpenter defends that one well. 3.4 the gap up at the front, and Boof is catching at about a second a lap in the Team The America entry. But look how much time that Manning is losing to Lightbody up at the front. Tom Lightbody looking almost, with 3 minutes to go, it's looking very, very good. Meanwhile, this is Harkema, McDermott, Actenes, who've all been in the wars in this race. And that's Soros as well. They're all fighting coming out of Druids. Scraps going on. Long into this one. McDermott sends it to the inside on Harkema. And there's a bit of wheel banging there. Now Actenes is getting involved as well in the what would be a Subaru. Some light flashing going on at the back of this fight. But it's all getting very, very feisty here. It's probably just a couple of laps to go in this race. Now, these guys will know that one of them is likely to be on pole position for race 3, but they don't know which one or which position they want to be in. So, the higher up you can get, the more you increase your odds of getting towards the front of the field for race 3.
The fight for P2 rages on as Carpman has been defending heavily into Sterling's, and Joe's got another run down the start-finish straight, but I don't think he's going to try. He might go for another switch back into Paddock Hill, but yeah, I've been keeping an eye on this P2 battle as you've been looking at McDermott and co.
Manning sends it. Manning sends it this time, and he's gone way too deep. And he's going to spin the car round and run into Booth. Oh no! And Booth off the circuit again. And there goes MJ Povey through. Booth's in the wall. Oh, it was so clumsy. Povey to the inside of Manning. We'll check the replay of this. Manning sends it to the inside.
Well, I think for me, having a look at the replay, Carpenter had a very, very late defense. He sort of reacted to Manning going up to the inside and basically just shut the door on him. So that was Joe's. That was definitely Joe's right to have that space, but Carpenter's just shut the door on him a bit too aggressively. I would say that it was a bit of a Verstappen sort of move.
So, what the hell is the order now? Light body leads and just starts the final lap of the race. Carpenter's now second. Povey third, Manning fourth, Buffoni is fifth, and this is now Callas in sixth position. This is a much better race for Ice 1 Racing this time around. They're running P2 and P6 here, though Carpenter might end up in front of the stewards for some of that defending against Joe Manning. McDermott in ninth place.
Joe's just got back past MJ Povey for P3 into Sheen Curve, so Joe's back on the podium here and he's stretching away from MJ.
I mean, the fight's continuing all the way through the field here. This is Harkema in 8th, McDermott in 9th, and Actonese in 10th.
We got a stop car on track. We got Castleman's spun out with Sterling. Looks like he's done what Hawk did earlier on and smacked the inside wall because there's a lot of front end damage on that car. And we've got another car off, which is Matt Parker in the Millbank Team KRO entry. That's just coming into Sterling's as well, so looks like two separate incidents, but both have managed to get away now.
So you can see the sort of paintwork damage on the front of Joe Manning's car. That's from when he ran into Booth. Booth now in 5th position. Very much the innocent party in all of that. I don't think Manning, he could possibly have applied the brakes and stopped himself falling back across the circuit, I think. But I don't think he was in control of the car anyway, so quite difficult for Booth to read that one and work out what to do.
Yeah, so it's well, we've got light body coming out of Sterling's into clearways, but there's a good battle still going on with Conor McDermott with Hawk and Actonese. So,
well, we'll have a look at that in a second. But the winner of race 2 is going to be Tom Lightbody for Big Pete Eco Tune Team Eurotech. Comfortable win in the end, having got past Teemu Karppinen. Picks up the win. Karppinen does finish in 2nd position. Manning's going to come across the line in 3rd place. And then Povey in a very respectable 4th. Booth is 5th. Callas is 6th. Hofstee, a very impressive 7th in the Gamma Groningen Team Eurotech car. Harkema 8th. McDermott, a great recovery to P9. It could actually have been better if it wasn't for that incident. There goes McDermott into the side of the 2 Ice 1 Racing cars. But yeah, it could have even been better for Conor McDermott if it wasn't for the incidents there with cars that wasn't really his fault. This is Elliot Hicks and Brad Spitt to the line. And that's a photo finish between the pair. Hicks takes that one by 11 thousandths of a second.